Shout out to my Patreon. Y'all are the real MVPs. I'm going to be trying to do some special things for y'all in this new year because y'all have definitely been riding with me. If you would like to join my Patreon, it's very simple. All you have to do is go to www.patreon.com/bstokestyling and make your pledge. $5, $10, or $25. Currently, I'm trying to get to 20 Patreons, you guys, so make sure you help me reach my goal by clicking the link down in my description box and joining my Patreon. You do not want to miss out on the early access to my videos. Alright, you guys, 2.5 minutes, then we're going to get started on this live recap to Ready to Love. Please take this time to share this video out and to hit that like button. We'll get started very shortly. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to order your custom Bestoke Styling merch. That's right, we have merch. Just click the link down below in the description box and order your Bestoke Styling merch today. Uh-oh, 10 seconds till we get this party started. Showtime. Hey, everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a live review of Ready to Love season 4 episode, whatever episode is in the title. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you are new here, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as you come in. If you're watching on the replay, please do the same, as well as leave a comment down below and let me know that you made it here, you guys. All right, I'm not going to be before you long, but we are going to talk about this latest episode. Can y'all see me? I'm real relaxed, okay? I'm sitting back. I'm chilling in my chair today. I'm really relaxed. But we're going to be talking about this latest episode of Ready to Love. I know that normally I come to y'all with my kind of watch along videos, but I watched the episode super late last night and I just didn't feel like filming. So here we are today. So thank y'all so much for joining. So let's go ahead and get into it. David, and the episode starts off with David and Liz. David, honey, David was showing his psycho-ness. Do you hear me? He would not let Miss Liz talk. They were sitting over there talking over each other. Liz is like, just let me speak. David's like, no, I have something to say. Just let me speak. I let me go first. I know you're a gentleman. You're going to let me go first. He was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to eliminate myself. She's like, no, you're not ready to love. We were going to eliminate you. He was like, honey, you can't fire me because I quit. Okay. Giving real big petty energy. Okay. She's like, well, what if you were going to self-eliminate? Why hadn't you talked to me about it, David? I expected so much more from you, man. When I say that this episode was just like, well, this scene, not this episode, but this particular scene was just so cringeworthy. And David really showed his butt. Okay. He really showed his butt. I started off this season liking him. And it's like, as every episode went on, his tics just started to show. And bottom line is, he was not ready to love. Now, I know they say behind the scenes, him and Kyra did have a little bit of a connection, and all of that might be well, great, and good. But just the way he was acting, his jealousy, his controlling nature, all of that says to me that David was a little off and clearly wasn't ready to love. And if you watched my video last week, I predicted that this was going to be a double elimination. I did. I predicted it. And just as I thought it was, because after David left and he didn't want to talk and give his farewell interview, we cut over to Alexis and Ron. And so Alexis is just talking about how, honestly, Alexis admitted that the only reason why she chose Ron as her number one is because he chose her as his number one, which again, my husband called that. She just wants to be liked. She just wants to be picked. It's all about the game for her and not necessarily finding the connection. But she said that she really battled and struggled with the decision to eliminate Ron, but at the end of the day, he just was not ready to love. And in the pettiest fashion, like, this was petty boo episode at the beginning all the way through. At petty, in the pettiest way he knew how, he gonna throw up. Well, I went on a date with Amber yesterday and we kissed. And I thought that you were smarter and better than this. Okay, talk about face cracked. Alexis was like, well, this makes my decision even easier. I'm glad that this makes me secure in my decision. He was like, oh, I've been secure in my decision. I knew that they were not going to work out. I personally do not see Alexis finding love in this group of people. However, it was real weird that Ron chose that moment to drop that he went on a date with Amber and that they indeed shared a kiss. Now, I will say that I'm just going to give the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to assume that they kissed on the mouth, because if y'all remember a few episodes ago when Amber went on her date with Joelle, she went back to the ladies' lounge and told the ladies that her and Joel kissed, conveniently leaving out the fact that they had only kissed on the cheek. So I'm going to assume that it was probably something like that, honestly. And he said it to be petty, not because they actually like kissed. But if they did like actually like kiss, like how Jason be trying to kiss on Liz, like if they did actually kiss, Amber, my love, we're gonna have to call you down to the carpet, okay? But we'll get more into that a little bit later. So they meet up with Tommy. The men meet up with Tommy. They realize that two of them are gone. And Tommy lets them know that this is going to be like a little weekend getaway, that all of the remaining contestants are going to be going to a ranch to spend some time together, which is cool. It's cool that they get to take a little trip. And so everybody gets there, and Alexis makes the point to say that she's feeling away and she's going to use this time to confront Amber, which, again, we're going to get into a little bit later. I was waiting all episode like, okay, Alexis, when you going to say what you got to say? Where's that, boo? All right. So, let's see. What happened next, y'all? I'm looking at my notes, y'all. Give me a second. While I'm figuring out what happened next, y'all, please make sure that you like the video and drop down in the comments. Say, hey, talk to me. Give me your opinion. What do you think about this bomb dropping about Ron and Alexis? Ron and Amber actually going on this date. Okay. So while they were sitting there, everybody then got to the house. Everybody's settling in. And so then there was a scene where you had like, I think it was Kyra, Amber, Joelle, and Bernicia all sitting around the table. And, you know, Joelle and Bernicia, honey, they just be all up on each other. They real lovey-dovey. It's cute or whatever. But then Amber decides to call out Joelle and says, well, what Ron told me that you chose Kyra in the men's lounge X amount of weeks ago. Is that true? So now Amber just put Joelle on the spot. So one thing that happened during that particular scene that I want to note is, number one, that does mean, or that does show, that Ron and Amber were definitely talking more than we as the viewers were seeing, and they must have had some type of connection, which is interesting just because on camera, all we see is Amber and Chris together. So they must have had some type of canoodleization going on. Number two, I didn't understand why Joelle never said this to Bernicia, especially after they had made up, because he says that, you know, well, I chose her because me and Bernicia had a little spat at the time. And so Tommy asked the question and I just gave my answer and my opinion based on that moment. And so while Joelle was trying to like pivot and trying to like smooth talk his way on up out of it, because, you know, everybody loves him some Joelle, baby. Everybody loves that accent. He think he can put on the charm, but Amber was calling him out every step of the way and staying on his neck. And the more they talked about it, you could see the matter that Bernicia was getting, and she felt betrayed. And I agreed with her. I understood it. It's not, Bernicia's viewpoint was that, you know, at the end of the day, if me and you had one disagreement and you were willing to throw our relationship away off of one disagreement, what are we going to do in a full relationship? How am I supposed to be able to trust you in a full relationship? Which I wholeheartedly agree with. If you can't sit up here and stand 10 toes down with wanting to be with me, even when you get a little upset about something, that does make me look at you sideways. And we already know Bernicia is more guarded, and she's a little bit harder of a nut to crack. And Joelle has seemed to be the only one to be able to crack it. So I was definitely on Bernicia's side about this, because it's not even the fact that the fact that he chose Kyra, yes, but also the fact that it's been weeks since you chose Kyra and you never even expressed your concerns or your feelings or what happened to Bernicia, the person who you talk to the most, who you claim that you have such a relationship with and such a connection with. Something about that seems a little fishy to me. Y'all tell me what you think down below. Okay. So Bernicia was not seeing it for Joelle for the rest of this episode. For majority of this episode. They had a little Seagram's product placement. Speaking of the little Seagram's product placement, it's funny because you know we've been watching this show. Me and my husband, we sit and we watch this show every week, and every week they try to find a way to sneak in the Seagram's product placement. How about my husband went and bought a 12-pack of Seagram's? I say that's subliminal marketing, honey. They know what they doing. Keep sneaking in, and he done bought a 12-pack. But okay, so they had their little Seagram's product placement moment like they do for every episode. And during that, Joelle again still trying to like come up on Bernicia, trying to like, you know, push up on her, and she just was not having it. Like you could tell that she was extremely aggravated with him. At some point, when did this happen? What is this? While I figure out what this part is, let me read y'all's comments. Hold on. Denise Marshall. Hi, Denise Marshall. Welcome back. Welcome back. Since I agree with you 100% about Lexi, she's going to leave with no one on her arm. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Don't see it happening at all. At some point, Alexis questions Kyra's motives. Oh, yeah. I think they were sitting outside when this happened. And Alexis questioned Kyra's motives, and she actually seemed a little bit jealous. She said that Kyra is just playing Monopoly. Because, you know, all the guys at one point a few weeks ago were choosing Kyra as their number one. And I really do think that Alexis is seeing this more as a game and not as a genuine trying to find your connection with, you know, you're genuinely ready to love her and everything like that. Alexis talking about, oh, she's just strategizing. She's a lawyer. She's just trying to strategize, which I honestly don't think that is what Kyra is doing. I do think Kyra enjoys being like the front runner as far as the guys who like her. But I mean, what woman wouldn't? You know, like what woman wouldn't be like flattered that these men do like her? But at the end of the day, Kyra's inability to make her choice, or her not inability, but her kind of hesitance and slow pace in making her choice, is definitely allowing or giving room for the guys to make other connections. And so, like for instance, she's slowly but surely losing Jason, and she's slowly but surely losing AJ. And Joelle, who was someone who chose her, was really only choosing her to be spiteful. And David's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but is gone. You know, so how much of a monopoly does she really have? All right. So we get a little date. We do get one little kind of date this episode. We get Jason, Liz, AJ, and Kyra, and they go horseback riding. So this is kind of nerve-wracking for Jason, because he has the two women that he is the most interested in, Kyra and Liz, on a date together. And so, I mean, honestly, nothing in particular happened on the date that I wanted to talk about, but I did just find it interesting that Joelle was on a date with the two women that he's the most interested in at the time. So while they are out there riding horses, Liz done got her foot stepped on. Poor baby, especially a horse. I could only imagine. But Liz done got her foot stepped on. In the house, Joelle is making dinner for the group. And while he's making dinner, he kind of invites Bernicia to come help him, and he's trying his best to get out of the doghouse. You know, because he knows that Bernicia is feeling a way. So he's trying to, you know, talk all smooth and get really put on the charm. And Bernicia just was not having it, you know. And Joelle finally kind of prods her and pushes her to come out. And once he prods her and pushes her to let her feelings be known, She says, like I said earlier about him not being forthcoming about choosing Kyra and what that means for the connection that they have. And Joel just doesn't seem to get the point. He's saying that it was just a moment in time. He was just picking her for a moment, and it wasn't supposed to be this serious of a thing. And so me and my husband had a discussion about it because I just did not agree. I completely agreed with Renisha. It's not about like, yes, you are playing, we are in this competition type situation or whatever. Hold on, this little thing is bothering me. It's driving me crazy. Yes, we are in this competition type situation. However, this was the person that you have been talking to consistently. You've been choosing every time. And so for her to not even know that Kyra is a competitor of hers at all is unfair to her, because she's putting all of her energy and all of her time into trying to connect with you and thinking that y'all are on the same page. Meanwhile, behind her back, you got other things going on. Like, it's in this show or in this experiment, Tommy says it all the time. You have to be transparent. You have to just put your cards on the table. And Joel was not putting his cards on the table. I agree. My husband, on the other hand, did not agree. He was saying that it is the point of them being on this show is to find different connections and is to, explore their options. And so Bernicia should not be upset that he chose Kyra instead. She should just try to be his number one, which, I mean, we just agreed to disagree, because I don't like how how Joel moved in that moment. It made me look, which I've always seen him as somewhat of a little smooth talker, smooth operator, but that, I don't know, that left a bad taste in my mouth. Let me see. Denise says Joel is the smooth operator with the ladies, and I'm not seeing it for him. And Bernicia, he's already not being honest. I agree. Because it's not just about him picking Kyra in that moment. It's about him not even coming back, because he gonna claim, well, when he got called out, he was like, oh, I was gonna tell you. Well, when was you gonna tell him? Because that was during y'all week. We've already had a girl week, and we're here at this ranch. So at what point were you going to say something at the reunion? So that was a lie. It was a lie. So Bernicia ends up leaving the conversation very upset, very hurt, very distraught. She says that she's done. She's outside with the women venting about, her feelings. Again, I think her feelings were valid. And Chris comes into the kitchen to talk to Joel and to be the voice of reason and let Joel know that Bernicia's out there. She's really upset. And the thing that she needs more than anything is assurance. She needs to know that she is your number one. She needs to know that you are, you're not connected to Kyra in that way, that you do really want to be with her. She needs to be reassured. So I do like Chris. I liked him in that moment, and he was like, Joel, you need to fix this. Meanwhile, Jason and Liz are out on the property having a little nightcap, by the lake. Liz is playing Miss Damsel in Distress. Oh no, I hurt my foot. Can you rub it? I do see that when Liz gets around him, she is like, kind of girly, kind of bubbly. But in all honesty, I still don't see that couple making it. And I just don't. Liz says, Liz asked Jason, what is it that he sees in her? Jason says that he's at peace with Liz, and that's all a man can ask for, is to be at peace with his woman. Liz says that, well, she appreciates his consistency, which definitely stands out. That was something that stood out to me, because she was saying how David had become inconsistent and had become a little bit distant. So to me, again, it sounds like you are connecting with this man for convenience, not because you actually have a connection with him, but because, oh, well, if he picks me, then I pick him type of situation. They end up, Jason ends up kissing her. He says that, excuse me, he says that, oh, I didn't want to kiss you. I said that I wasn't going to kiss you until I made a decision, but I couldn't help myself. I think Jason's attraction to Liz is physical. It's strictly physical, and I don't think that it is sustainable in the long run. I don't see this as a genuine couple personally. Okay, so dinner served. Everybody's eating, and Joel and Bernicia talk, and he apologizes. And at first, Bernicia was seeming like a real hard nut to crack again. Like she was seeming real. Like, I mean, I hear your apology, and but by the end of it, she just agrees that they both need to be heard. They both need to talk and listen, and that if she gets upset, just to give her a moment, because she doesn't stay upset long. And they agree to kind of work on it and stay together. Are y'all here for that couple? Y'all let me know. Let me know if you're here for that couple. While you're letting me know, also like the video. Denise says Alexis is too aggressive and bless Kyra because I wouldn't have been so kind with the way Alexis had came at her. No, sir. She definitely did come at her pretty. Alexis was just jealous. That's all it is. Alexis is just jealous. And she doesn't have anyone there that wants to choose her as number one. So she knows that her days are limited too. At this point, we have what? 5 girls and 4 guys. Is it 5 and 4? Liz, Alexis, Kyra, Amber. Yeah, so 5 and 4. And Bernicia. So yeah, the girls are 5, the guys are 4. So we're coming down to the wire. What they usually have, 3 couples or so by the end. They try to have like 3 couples. At this point, like people are really trying to solidify their spot as a final couple. And Alexis only has AJ left. And so Kyra is only her competition. So the claws are out heavy. Okay, the claws are out. So also during dinner, AJ and Alexis sit off to the side and they talk. And again, this is Alexis showing her insecurities about even being picked on this show, because she really goes in for the kill with him. And all she's worried about is being his number one. It's not about the connection that they're making. It's not about how they complement each other. It's not about what things they have in common, anything. It's like, oh, well, I ain't heard from you. What you been talking to Kyra? Am I your number one? What you got going on? Like, you gave me a kiss, but then that was all it was. Like, what else is there for us to do? Where am I at? Where do I stand? What we gonna do? And it's just like, I think it turned AJ off because, again, AJ said in episode 2, 3, that he didn't like how kind of aggressive and forward Alexis could be. And so she's doing that again. And then on top of it, it's not like you are being this forward because you're just so genuinely infatuated with this man, or you're just, it seems like y'all are so right for each other. It's just like, I just want to be chose. It's real pick me energy, So they decide to play a game. Everyone comes together and they decide to play a game of truth or dare. Alexis is sitting there with the pouty face. Oh, wait, no, that's not the pouty face. What's the pouty face? Looking like a brat, honestly. I'm not seeing it for Alexis. I was really trying to give her the benefit of the doubt just because my husband has not been seeing it for her for so long. But, I mean, he ain't lied. But anyway, so they play truth or dare. I'm not gonna go through all of the truths and all the dares because at the end of the day, it was cute. Everybody, they had Renisha and Joelle kissed for 10 seconds. They asked somebody some question. Okay, great. So then Renisha decides to get messy with her question to Jason, and she says, Jason, who you feeling? Because we all know who Jason feeling. So Jason, who you feeling? Jason say, well, I'm feeling Kyra and Liz. And then she go, well, who you feeling more? And he go, I can't answer that. So him saying that he can't answer that after all this time of picking Kyra at first and Kyra picking him at first is putting her at an uneasy position. She's like, oh, I was not worried about this competition type thing between me and Liz, but I feel like I am losing my position with Jason, and it's definitely making me feel away. So then we get Truth or Dare with Amber and AJ. So Amber asked AJ a 3-part Truth or Dare question. She asked about what did she ask AJ? She asked I didn't write down what she asked, but I know she asked him something about what it was that he liked about Kyra, what did he like about Alexis, and what was attracting him to them or something like that. So it was like, who are your tops? What qualities do you see in Kyra that attract you to her? And then what qualities do you see in Alexis? So he gives his answer. I don't remember it. It just sounded like a whole bunch of small violins to me. Whatever. But whatever he said had Alexis over there. Now, you've been pouting the whole doggone game. But she gone. I was like, girl, okay. Child, boom. So then they get on to the conversation about what happened at the eliminations. Somebody asked Liz, I think it was Joelle asked Liz, like, okay, you've been quiet over there. What happened when you eliminated David? And Liz goes through it and she says, well, David got really irate and he got really upset and he self-eliminated. And like everybody laughed about it. Everybody just thought, because it was a cop-out. It was a real witch-made move. Y'all know what I'm saying. And so everybody kind of laughed about it. So then they were like, okay, well, what happened with Ron? And so Alexis goes, I have never been talked to and disrespected in that way in my life. Like, it did not go good, which it did not go good. But now this is the time where Alexis is going to call out her feelings towards Amber. She go ahead. She says, and Ron told me before he left that he kissed Amber. Amber sitting there with the pluck face like, ooh, I've been caught. Ooh, that's messed up, And Alexis goes on to say, I've talked to you about this man. I've confided in you about my feelings for this man. And for you to go on a date with him and not only go on a date with him, but then to kiss him, I feel betrayed. You feel like a Judas to me, and she's really giving it to her. And Amber has not responded yet. We get a to be continued. The shade of it all. A to be continued, you guys. So I'm wondering what Amber is going to have to say in rebuttal to this, because at first, like I told y'all at the top of the show, when Alexis when Ron was getting eliminated and brought up to Alexis that he had kissed Amber, I was just like, okay, is it as serious as we think it was? Is it as deep as we thought it was? But as Alexis was giving her opinions on like the behind the scenes stuff that we don't see, on how she confided in this woman and let her know about how I felt, and Amber never not once even told her that they went on a date, they had, think about it. And my husband brought this up to me. He was like, okay, so we thought about the timeline. We was like, okay, they sit down and they typically eliminate the man like either the night or the day after they went to the ladies' lounge. So let's just say it was the next day. Let's say they did lady lounge on Friday and eliminations were on Saturday, which means Amber and Ron went on a date on Thursday. So that means you came to the ladies' lounge, you sat in this girl's face, you didn't say anything about going on this date with this man. You didn't bring it up, you didn't talk about it. Now, Amber, like I said before, when Amber went on the date with Joelle, she talked about it to the ladies. She did not bring it up to the ladies. So now here it is the next day, and Alexis is completely blindsided by this date and by this kiss. Whether it was a kiss on the cheek or a kiss on the forehead or a kiss on the lips, we don't know. But that was very flawed of Amber to not even bring it up, to not even say anything about it, especially when there was a whole conversation in the ladies' lounge the day before specifically about Ron. Even if the conversation was simply, yeah, I went on a date with Ron, but I'm not feeling it. And for you to have not even brought it up is like one of two things. Either you were being real shady. Ron said y'all talk every day. So that seems kind of shady to me. Or it was not what Ron was trying to portray it to be. You get what I'm saying? Those are like the two scenarios for me. So like either Amber was being shady or Ron and Amber were just cool. Like they were cool. And when they shared a kiss, it was like a brotherly, sisterly kiss on the cheek. Man, thank you. This how I'm gonna go towards Alexis type of thing. But Ron being petty and making it seem like something else. I don't know. I need some clarification. We ain't got none yet. Next week we will get Amber actually responding to this. So let's see what happens with it. I really want to give Amber the benefit of the doubt because I like her. But do I put anything past a woman with somebody's man or with nobody's man? Because technically he's nobody's man. Either way, I don't put nothing past no woman. Okay? I don't. I'm just saying I don't. Y'all let me know down below in the comments. Overall, I enjoyed the episode. Again, 5 ladies, 4 guys. The people that I think are going to make it to the end, I do think that at the end of the day, Joelle and Bernicia are going to make it to the end. Will they be a lasting couple? I'm not quite sure, but I do think they will last at least until the reunion. I think that Kyra and Jason are going to make it to the end. And I think that Chris and Amber are going to make it to the end. Yeah. Those are my final predictions. I don't know how many episodes we have in the show. I'm thinking, we can't have many more left. That's why they keep giving us these doggone to be continues instead of just letting people go. But I don't know. We'll see. Y'all tell me who y'all think the final 3 couples will be, and tell me your thoughts on the episode down in the comments section. If you are watching me on the playback, thank you again. Don't forget to like the video, and I will be back next week for another probably watch along review. If I don't do a watch along, it will be an impromptu live like tonight. Thank y'all so much for joining me, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.